Andor. It's finally all here. And, well, just another thing to add on to the pile of crap that came from Disney. Wait, hold on, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I said Andor, not Tales of the Jedi. Ah, well, Andor is actually surprisingly an exception. How this happened is really a mystery. From what I can tell, it looks like it was just given to an actually talented writer, and then from there, it basically got ignored by Disney, and so they were allowed to just do what they wanted. At least that's from what I could tell. Obviously, I could be entirely wrong, but we'll find out eventually, I suppose. Or maybe never. Now, don't get me wrong, Andor's not the greatest thing ever. I mean, what is, I doubt we'll ever truly know.
You don't know? You don't know?
It's also not the greatest Star Wars thing ever. However, it is absolutely, by far and away, the best thing that Disney has produced under Star Wars. Rogue One is alright, but it certainly suffers a lot. And a lot of that has to do with its characters just not being fully fleshed out or being very bland, generic, and one note.
I rebel.
And Andor is almost the exact opposite, where all of the characters, including Cassian himself, are very well fleshed out. The series makes a very good point of establishing different character motivations and how different characters view the same event and how their views differ and how conflict comes from that. And that's all great. It made for a really compelling season, or at least a very well written first season. Now, the reactions to Andor, especially by the mainstream Star Wars YouTubers, as we'll call them, has been very interesting, to say the least. Now, in this video, I'm not going to cover every single Star Wars YouTuber, because that would be ridiculous and a nightmare, frankly. I'm going to cover 3 Star Wars YouTubers, that being Star Wars Theory, Star Wars Explained, and Hello Greedo, and their reactions to the first season of Andor. And I've titled this The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of Andor, but this isn't really, not one of them fits into a single category. It's the title is more about their reactions rather than the people themselves. I don't feel that any of them have a only bad take or only good take on Andor. It's a bit all over the place, but they were good examples to show that. So we'll start with the good, which the good is that all 3 of them have praised the show in general, but also the writing in particular.
Andor, expertly crafted, a fine wine.
Tony Gilroy and the other writers have earned my trust.
Yes, the acting is phenomenal. Yes, the music is good. Yes, the cinematography is superb.
This is good. We need people, especially people that Disney looks at, like these mainstream Star Wars YouTubers, to recognize how good the writing is and that that's something we need in our content. And it's been really cool to hear them compliment the writing, because it is very well done, especially considering what we have been getting under Disney Star Wars. The bad, though, is that on the one hand, you have people like Star Wars Theory, who, while they admit that the show is well written, will say that they're bored throughout the show. Now, that's not inherently a problem. You can be bored with anything. The issue here is that Star Wars Theory appears to be bored because he's not paying attention. Here's a few clips to prove my point.
Was I the only one who thought that was a lightsaber that Luthen had taken away from him by the... Yeah, I thought that too. That looked kind of dope. I had more fun watching Kenobi, which says a lot because they destroyed everything. Y'all are... What the hell? This is better than the prequel trilogy? 11 episodes? 11 episodes, and we're only here. I feel like even in Obi-Wan Kenobi there were some filler episodes. Let alone 12 episodes we've got in this whole series, and 11 of them are just... What is happening? Like, what's even going on, really? Not all that much.
As far as 11 episodes of filler, I mean, come on. Like, no, if you actually paid attention, it's building up characters, it's building up motivations, it's explaining how we go from what was essentially, at the beginning of the show, just the Empire ruling over everything. Everything's calm and peaceful. How do we go from that to this huge conflict on Ferrix? And you need all these episodes to get there. And I really don't like conceding that, oh, there could be stuff that could be cut out, because every scene in the show is really important to building character and motivation. Now, on the other hand of the bad, we have Hello Greedo, where Hello Greedo has come out and praised the show. Like, absolutely praised the show. Even going so far as to say that he couldn't understand why someone wouldn't like the show. And I somewhat agree with him on that take. However, this is coming from Hello Greedo, where this is the guy who absolutely defended the sequel trilogy and really thought that he clowned on all those haters when he made fucking weird-ass parody videos. He sat there and he praised the sequel trilogy. We can't have that. You can't do both. You can't sit there and praise the sequel trilogy and then when Andor comes out, go, oh, wait, no, wait, Andor is actually good. Like, not like those other things. No, Andor is really good. You can't have it both ways, unfortunately. You need to come out and say that the sequel trilogy was bad. And you need to understand why. You can't praise Andor's writing while also just ignoring how bad the writing in the sequel trilogy was. Here we have the unfortunate situation of where Hello Greedo and Star Wars Explained, though Star Wars Explained to a lesser degree, because he initially wasn't super on board with The Rise of Skywalker, then became on board with it, and now really doesn't want to talk about the sequel trilogy at all. But in both cases, with him and Hello Greedo, they sat there, and while the sequel trilogy came out, they complimented it. They said, oh, this is so good, even though Disney was putting shit on their plate. They kept eating it because, well, at least I have something on my plate. It even got to the point where certainly Hello Greedo tried to gaslight people into thinking, well, no, you've always had shit on your plate. Like, Star Wars was never good. It's always just been goofy, like, space movies. They were made for kids. You know, that famous Patrick Willems image. You know, you can't have it both ways, because now they're starting to realize that, oh, the kitchen can serve something other than shit. Like, we can get actual food out of this kitchen. We don't need to be eating the slop that they've been putting out. And that's where we come to the ugly truth of the matter, where, unfortunately, this might be it. This might be all we get as far as good Star Wars content from Disney. And it's unfortunate. It really is. Because, you know, maybe, hopefully, I really am hopeful that Season 2 continues to be good. However, people like Hello Greedo, Star Wars Theory, and Star Wars Explained, they've all sat there at one point or the other and said, this slop on my plate, it tastes very good. I love this. So now Disney has heard that with the last 6, so many other projects that have already come out and were already crap that have gotten unabashed praise. Where Disney's heard all that, and so now instead of changing course and hiring better writers and making more shows and movies like Andor that reach the same level of quality writing, the next 17 projects down the pipeline are more than likely designed to be shit. They're designed to be slop. They're designed to go, hey, you remember that thing, don't you? You remember that? Look, it's that thing. Look, we put Qui-Gon Jinn in the show. Now you can cry over it. Isn't that amazing? Look, it's the thing you recognize. And that's all we're gonna get. And it's really unfortunate. I don't want it to be that way, but it would appear that that is the case. So, if you take anything from this video, please, it's all out now. Go watch Andor. And I'm gonna be frank here, I recommend signing up for Disney Plus to watch it. Show Disney that this is the content that you appreciate. Maybe it won't do anything. You know, I doubt this video will have anywhere near the amount of influence to do anything. But they should be rewarded for the good content that they make, not the bad content. But that's really all I have for this video. So, here's to Season 2.